Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I think we can go ahead and get started. If everyone would like to grab a seat. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our awards assembly this evening for our class of 2023. This evening we gather to recognize our students for their accomplishments in academics, in the arts, and in student life. And the evening will conclude with our head monitor address. Now, tonight's awards reflect the broad educational mission of Episcopal that encourages our students to pursue an array of interests in and outside the classroom and to strive to do their best in all areas of school life. And I would like to begin this evening by recognizing those students who have been honored by induction in membership of the Cum Laude Society. Now, this is a national organization, the secondary school equivalent of Phi Beta Kappa, which is established in strong secondary schools to honor those with the most distinguished academic attainments who simultaneously demonstrate strong character. And I would like to ask that the current members stand when I call your name and be recognized, and request that the audience hold your applause until we read the complete list. So for our cum laude members, for the seniors in the class of 2023 who were inducted last year, Walter Blessing, McLeod Blunt, Morgan Dixon, Jacob Ejim, Ella Mae Fitzgerald, Ava Folk, Kevin Gu, Damian Kearns, Becca Losi, Connie Liu, Stella Wren, Laura Gray Shield, Benny Wang, Minnie Wan, and then for the seniors who were inducted this year, Zoe Arts, Christelle Castellanos, Hank Chopra, Lindsay Dunlap, Jet Easterly, Carrie Fang, Virginia Keene, Stuart Knops, Kate Lee, Grace Morris, Patricia Okwesi, and Will Terry. And for the juniors who were inducted this year, Emily Gerard, James Hong, Walter Liu, Leo Melton, Alexa Parchment, Marshall Ragsdale, Blue Tron, Reeves Versace, Ray Wang, Chloe Yan, Baker Jean, and Vicky Joe. Congratulations. I'm now pleased to present Mr. Nate Ebel, Assistant Head for Academics, and Mr. Phil Spears, Assistant Head for Student Life, who will assist with our presentation of awards. And I wish to point out that the criteria for all our awards presented this evening are found in your program, but in the interest of time, we will refrain from reading the full description, but I encourage you to do so as we proceed with the presentations. And I now turn the program over to Mr. Ebel.
Good evening. The students who will receive these awards have been chosen by the academic departments to honor their excellence in the various disciplines. We'll begin the awards by recognizing student achievement in the arts. The Boyd Taylor Cummings Medal for Publications. Monica Viola writes, "This young woman's unwavering dedication to the Daemon, the EHS literary magazine, ensured the success of this year's edition on the cusp of clarity. She encouraged open dialogue and collaboration among her fellow editors-in-chief and emerged as a leader during weekly Daemon meetings. Most importantly, she displayed empathy and sensitivity when handling the creative work of peers in a public forum. Her contributions have set a high standard for future generations of Daemon leadership. In recognition of her diligence and creativity, the Boyd Taylor Cummings Medal for Publications is awarded to Ava Folk of Wilson, North Carolina." The George William Laird Award for Outstanding Photography. David Douglas writes, "Art is not about reproducing what you see, but rather making your audience see what you want them to see. To do this takes courage, vision, and above all, a tremendous amount of hard work. With a camera in her hand, she knows no fear. It is with pure joy and endless talent that this young artist invites us into her world. And through her photographs, perhaps we will begin to see ourselves and our world a little more clearly. This year's George William Laird Medal for Outstanding Photography is presented to Amelia Hansen of Charleston, South Carolina." The Johnny Smith Award for Excellence in Music. Mark Carter writes, "First, I tried to copy other artists, but one day I realized that these were their voices, not mine. I decided that I needed to find my own way, my music, my heart." These words, spoken by world-renowned marimbist Keiko Abe, perfectly capture the journey of this year's recipient. Embracing Abe's wisdom, she embarked on a path of self-discovery, seeking her unique musical voice. Her transformation into an extraordinary percussionist has been a joy to witness, and we thank her for sharing her music and heart with us. The Johnny Smith Award for Excellence in Music is given to Grace Morris of Alexandria, Virginia. The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts in Acting. Mike Schmidt writes, "There's a refrain heard frequently in educational theater. There are no small parts, only small actors. It reminds us that whatever role we may have, we should approach it with joy, tenacity, and an open heart. Bonus points if you're a strong and caring leader." This performer has all of these traits in spades, from confidently carrying chairs as a sophomore and volunteering for any small solo they could sing, to bringing the house down as an iconic Disney princess. There is no one more deserving of the Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts in Acting than Faith Famalua of El Paso, Texas. The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts in Dance. Adrian Taylor writes, "We've all been encouraged to believe that everyone can dance, but we've all seen jaw-dropping, eyebrow-raised moments that would suggest the opposite. We've also seen movement that touches our hearts and sparks emotion in us. This year's recipient does just that. Her joyful stage presence is magical, bringing a smile to the audience as if they themselves were part of the performance. This student is a leader here at school and within our dance community, continuously encouraging younger dancers to push themselves into new genres of dance. The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts and Dance is presented to Elle Magnuson of Alexandria, Virginia." The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts in Technical Performing Arts. Wes Reed writes, "The work it takes to create the magic of a performance often goes unrecognized, since techies are meant to be behind the scenes, literally. This student spent countless hours of effort and stress, both physical and mental, for what amounted to about 6 to 8 hours of performances. This is her idea of fun. This kind, intelligent, and witty young woman prefers to remain as anonymous as possible, but she has, through her tireless and selfless hard work, earned her moment in the limelight this evening, and she's just going to have to deal with it. The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts in Technical and Performing Arts goes to Banks Krause of Charlotte, North Carolina." Charles C. Plummer Award for Excellence in Choir. Mike Schmidt says, apart from her exceptional voice, this student is also known for her kindness, cheerfulness, and passion for championing the choral arts at EHS. Her consistent enthusiasm and quiet leadership have been greatly appreciated by all those who have worked with her. She consistently voiced her concern and approval for the ensemble and worked diligently to help make everyone feel welcome. The Charles C. Plummer Award for Excellence in Choir is awarded to Zandy Vieg of Harborside, Maine. The John Moncure Daniel Jr. Scholarship and Benjamin M. Baker Medal for Excellence in United States History. Jesse George writes, in describing the discipline of history, Lord Acton once wrote, the main thing to learn is not the art of accumulating material, but the sublimer art of investigating it. It's easy to see history as a sublime art with this student in the room. He investigates the past with an eager curiosity, digging deep, questioning critically, and asking probing questions. His work frequently, in his own words, exceeded the scope of the question because he was simply so excited about the content. The John Moncure Daniel Scholarship and Benjamin M. Baker Medal for Excellence in United States History is presented to Wyatt Moore of Alexandria, Virginia. The Lancelot Minor Blackford Medal and Richard Pardee Williams Jr. Scholarship for Excellence in the Classics. Alec Robinson writes, this senior has been so dedicated to the study of classical languages that she has studied Latin and Greek at the highest levels of our curriculum, having completed 2 years of Latin Advanced Topics and Level 3 of Ancient Greek. In her understated way, she accomplished this by quietly doing extra work and skipping levels in both Latin and Greek. This hardworking student is truly exceptional in having done both, and even more remarkable for having maintained her wry sense of humor and joy of learning through it all. This year's Lancelot Minor Blackford Medal and Richard Pardee Williams Jr. Scholarship for Excellence in Classics goes to Sophia Tremblay of Attleboro, Massachusetts. The Dash Pierce Award for Excellence in Chinese. Julie Wong writes, several roads diverged in a wood, and this student took the one less traveled when, as a freshman, he decided to dedicate his 4 high school years to learning the Chinese language and culture. This student put in consistently excellent work and made impressive progress each day. By choosing this untrodden path, he has gained facility with the Chinese language and cultural knowledge that will help him succeed in a world in which cooperation between the US and China is becoming increasingly important. The Dash Pierce Award for Excellence in Chinese is presented to Kofi Egan of College Park, Georgia. The William Winder Laird Medal for Excellence in French. Eleanor Moore writes, this student demonstrates a tenacious work ethic to improve her communication skills, from the smallest grammatical details to the most complex structures and expressions. She was not afraid to grapple with the language, to make mistakes, to hunt down le mot juste, pardon my French, and dig deeper to unveil the intricacies of French. Paired with that dedication, this student genuinely seeks to understand Francophone cultures, to consider the aspects of those cultures that differ from her own, and to appreciate those differences and the reasons behind them. This year's William Winder Laird Medal for Excellence in French is presented to Ava Folk of Wilson, North Carolina. The Robert L. Whittle Medal for Excellence in German. Frau Professor Ellington writes, "By the end of my first year teaching this student, I needed a thesaurus to write his comments due to overuse of the word enthusiastic. Charging ahead, fearless, and excited to use what he knows, this student forgoes frustration, embracing his gaps in knowledge, requesting definitions, and making prodigious use of circumlocution. Whether jumping in to host an Austrian exchange student or serving as the Burgermeister of Oktoberfest, this student has shown dedication to all things German at EHS. Do they deserve this award? As they themselves would say, natürlich, of course. The Robert L. Whittle Medal for Excellence in German is presented to Claude Morris of Pinehurst, North Carolina. The Selby Barnes Papin Medal for Excellence in Spanish. Rocío Mendizábal says, "In the movie Jerry Maguire, the cute little kid tells us the human head weighs 8 pounds. He doesn't say anything about the brain, but Google tells me the average brain weighs 3 pounds. The average brain. But this student's brain is not your average brain. No, her bandwidth is so extensive that one language isn't enough to fill its capacity with information, observations, conclusions. Enter Spanish. She learns Spanish quickly, organically, hungrily. In English or Spanish, she doesn't suffer fools, and her humor is served up dry with a side of sweet sarcasm. I've never been more excited to see what the future brings to a student. This year's Selby Barnes Papin Medal for Excellence in Spanish goes to Lindsay Dunlap of Round Hill, Virginia." The Benjamin I. Johns Prize for Excellence in Biology. Dr. Colleen Kravasik says, "The complete joy in learning this young biologist exhibits both in and out of the classroom is a delight to behold. That aha moment that teachers live for is an almost daily occurrence with her. She is relentless and voracious in her pursuit of the why, the hallmark of a true scientist. Her face animates with spontaneous awe and delight when yet another reason why reveals itself. Socrates said, 'Wonder is the beginning of wisdom,' and this young woman is well on her way to becoming very wise." The Benjamin I. Johns Prize for Excellence in Biology is awarded to Reeves Versaghi of Alexandria, Virginia. The Thomas E. Kilby III Medal for Excellence in Chemistry. Dr. Kim Olson says, "This student's exceptional journey has been marked by their unquenchable curiosity, profound humility, and tremendous success. What sets them apart is not only their intellect, but also their thoughtful approach to learning. Despite possessing extraordinary abilities, they remain grounded and unassuming, always ready to extend a helping hand to their peers. They embody the profound impact of intellectual curiosity and genuine altruism, showcasing how to make a tremendous impact without seeking personal acclaim. The Thomas E. Kilby III Medal for Excellence in Chemistry is hereby presented to Leo Melton of Silver Spring, Maryland." The School Award for Excellence in Environmental Studies. Javier Bastos says, "This student has a passion for finding pragmatic solutions to the complex challenges of environmental science. With hope in his heart and a belief in analytical and investigative problem solving, he inspires others to share the same vision. Through big picture thinking and personal connections, he advocates for environmental issues and optimistically engages easily and confidently with the complexities that the world faces today. His leadership and enthusiasm make him a vital advocate for creating a better future for people and our planet. The School Award for Excellence in Environmental Studies goes to Will Terry of Bedford, New York. The Lawton M. Calhoun Jr. Medal for Excellence in Physics. Dr. Casey Meeker writes, "This student is known for always being several assignments ahead of her classmates. She approaches physics with a desire to understand the material at a deep level, always asking questions until she completely understands the topic. Her quiet enthusiasm and cheerful disposition make our class a calmer place. Her lab work is outstanding and precise, especially in the flight path lab, where her class managed to hit their teacher with water balloons several times. In recognition of her diligence, work ethic, and lab work, this year's Lawton M. Calhoun Jr. Medal for Excellence in Physics goes to Blue Tron of Tuan City, Vietnam." The Ingle Family Theology Award for Excellence in Theology. The Reverend Betsy Carmody says, "As a teacher, I am sometimes skeptical of the student who begins class with a lot of questions. Are they attempting to stall and lead us away from the work at hand, or draw the attention of classmates to showcase their humor? Though full of questions, this student soon dispelled my skepticism. She came to class so charged up about our subject and wanting to dig deeper that her questions would simply spill forth. This enthusiasm, coupled with written work that showed complete mastery of the material, made it a joy to teach her this year. This year's Ingle Family Award for Excellence in Theology goes to Olivia Hanson of Charleston, South Carolina." The Charles Fellows Page Award for Excellence in Poetry. Katrina Reed says, "Poetry, in the words of Clint Smith, is the act of paying attention. It offers a glimpse into the beautiful diversity of the human experience. And while poetry is most certainly in all of us, some are more willing than others to feed the flames of creativity and explore the intricacies of the heart. This scholar did just that in her time at Episcopal, masterfully wielding language to share her truth and spotlight the stories of others in hopes of changing the world, one poem at a time. The Charles Fellows Page Award for Excellence in Poetry is presented to Patricia Okwesi of New York, New York." The William Garrett Bibb Medal for Excellence in Shakespeare. Whit Morgan writes, "Every teacher longs to hear their classroom discussions spilling out into the hallways, dining hall, dorm rooms, and beyond. For some students, intellectual engagement ends with the final school bell. For others, like the recipient of this year's Shakespeare Award, that final bell is more akin to a starter's gun, and she hasn't stopped sprinting since her first exposure to the bard. Better yet, she has spread the gospel far and wide, like some Shakespearean Apostle Paul, converting doubters everywhere she turns. The William Garrett Bibb Award for Excellence in Shakespeare is presented to Ella Mae Fitzgerald of Alexandria, Virginia." The English Bays honor former Episcopal High School English teachers and students who shared a common admiration and talent for writing. The first of these is the David Doherty Writing Prize, which recognizes excellence in analytical writing by a 9th or 10th grade student. This award is given to Eric Shin of Seongnam-si, South Korea. The George Dunlop Memorial Prize, recognizing excellence in creative prose writing, is awarded to Evan Davis of Louisville, Kentucky. The Alan C. Phillips Prize, recognizing excellence in analytical writing, is awarded to Connie Liu of Shanghai, China. The William Page Dame Medals recognize outstanding creative writing by 9th or 10th grade students, with medals for first and second place winners. The second place William Page Dame Medal for excellence in creative writing goes to William McCollum of Thomasville, Georgia. The first place William Page Dame Medal for excellence in creative writing goes to Angel Inerio of Scranton, Pennsylvania. The award for Outstanding Senior Externship Defense is presented in memory of Martin Baldwin Whitaker, a student at Episcopal from 1964 to 1967. The Martin Baldwin Whitaker Medal for Outstanding Senior Externship Defense goes to Janiyah Tasker of District Heights, Maryland. Three colleges and universities have donated prizes for outstanding students. Would prize winners please come to the stage as your name is read? College Book Awards. The Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute Certificate for Outstanding Work in Mathematics and Science is presented to Brian Chen of Shanghai, China. The Middlebury College Award for Excellence in Modern and Classical Languages is presented to Wyatt Moore of Alexandria, Virginia. The Swanee Award for Excellence in Writing is presented to Alexa Parchment of Farmingdale, New Jersey. Next, we'll hand out departmental scholarships. Will representatives from the academic departments, Dr. Rowe, Mr. Brennan, Dr. Olson, Ms. Moore, and Ms. Echo, please join me on the stage? The endowed scholarships will now present honor outstanding former EHS teachers and mentors. The William Riley Diebel III Scholarship for Social Studies, presented by Dr. Rowe, is awarded to David Song of Lexington, Massachusetts. The Lucian Minor Gear Scholarship for Mathematics, presented by Mr. Brennan, is awarded to Jason Abraham of Brooklyn, New York. The Benjamin Irving Johns Scholarship for Biology, presented by Dr. Olson, is awarded to Mary Kravchenko of Vishniev, Ukraine. The Mark Hale Teeter Scholarship for Modern and Classical Languages, presented by Ms. Moore, is awarded to Leo Melton of Silver Spring, Maryland. The Alan Carlton Phillips and William Evans Hannum Scholarship for English, presented by Lauren Echo, is awarded to Aaron Kim of Haymarket, Virginia. The Whittle, Johns, and Mead Book Prizes for Scholastic Achievement. These prizes commemorate three former bishops of Virginia, Bishops Whittle, Johns, and Mead. A student may be awarded one of the following for achievement and performance in the current academic year. The Whittle Prize recognizes academic excellence. Students, please come forward as your name is called, and please hold your applause until all names have been read. The 2023 winners of the Whittle Prize are Walter Blessing, Morgan Dixon, Lindsay Dunlap, Keith Duong, Jet Easterly, Virginia Keene, Kate Lee, Becca Losi, Patricia Okwesi, and Will Terry. The Johns Prize recognizes eminent academic excellence. The 2023 winners are McLeod Blunt, Carrie Fang, Kevin Gu, Grace Morris, and Minnie Yuan. The Mead Prize recognizes the highest level of academic excellence. The 2023 winners are Ava Folk, Connie Liu, Stella Wren, Laura Grace Shield, and Benny Wong. I'll now turn the podium over to Mr. Phil Spears, Assistant Head for Student Life, who will present our athletic awards.
Good evening. The Robert Wyatt Farrer Commitment to Athletics Award. This award honors the life of Robert Wyatt Farrer, class of 2007. During his 4 years at EHS, Wyatt demonstrated an outstanding commitment to athletics by participating with passion and devotion in 12 seasons of athletics. This award is presented annually to graduating seniors who have also competed in 3 seasons of athletics each year for the duration of their EHS careers. It is a tribute to this year's senior class to present this award to 16 student athletes. I ask the students to come to the stage in groups of 5 to be recognized. Emmy Amison, Zoe Arts, Wynn Bogan, Taylor Chambers, and Audrey Dearlove. Lexi Jacobs, Boom Jock, Liv Kravasic, Joshua Lipschutz, and Javi McGowan. Lexi Jacobs, in case you didn't hear me, sorry about that. And our last group of 6, Daniel McLaughlin, Aiden Nelson, Anderson Patry, Libby Sims, Tad Tan, and Brooks Whitmer.
I now ask that this year's Honor Committee and Discipline Committees please join their advisors, Captain Joseph Eldred and Mr. Mark Carter, on the side of the stage. So those committees want to come forward. We are pleased to recognize these student members of the 2022-23 Honor Committee and Discipline Committee. They have upheld Episcopal's most cherished values. Selected by their peers, the entire EHS community appreciates their efforts and recognizes the unique personal demands these roles require. This year, I have been impressed by the seriousness, thoughtfulness, and dedication that members of these committees have brought to their work as they struggle with the fine distinction between compassion and accountability. Please accept these gifts as a token of our appreciation for your dedication in serving Episcopal High School.
The 2022-23 Honor Committee, Jakin Ejim, Chair. Nathan DeWitt. Carson Dodd. Ella Mae Fitzgerald. Charlotte Head. Virginia Keene. Connie Liu. And Zandy Vieg. Thank you, Honor Committee. The 2022-23 Discipline Committee. Patricia Okweze, Chair. Reed Applegate. McLeod Blunt. Carrie Feng. L. Magnuson. Anderson Patry. Charlie Smith. And Malik Studi. Thank you, Discipline Committee.
I would now like to ask all of this year's senior monitors and monitors to come to the side of the stage. The tradition of student leadership at Episcopal High School is a distinguishing characteristic of the school. The monitors are charged with the task of establishing the model and setting the tone for the student community. This task is critically important and requires a complex set of skills. Monitors are simultaneously asked to lead and serve, listen and respond, and ultimately to bridge the relationship between students and faculty. They serve as examples of the best for which the high school stands, counseling older students and showing the way for new students. It's my pleasure publicly to recognize and express appreciation to this year's senior monitors and monitors.
The 2022-23 monitors. Sydney Hopkins, Head Monitor. Emmy Amison, Senior Monitor and Monitor. Mason Cogswell, Senior Monitor. Morgan Dixon, Senior Monitor. Kofi Egan, Senior Monitor. CJ Johnson, Senior Monitor and Monitor. Claude Morris, Senior Monitor and Monitor. Will Sneed, Senior Monitor and Monitor. Reed Applegate. Jack Bruns. Taylor Chambers. Hank Chopra. Audrey Dearlove. Carson Dodd. Keith Duong. Jet Easterly. Jakin Ejim. Faith Famalua. Carrie Feng. Kevin Gu. Laura Georgia Guimarães Naranja. Hunter Hammond. Charlotte Head. Virginia Keene. Connie Liu. L. Magnuson. Mia McDonald. Javi McGowan. Daniel McLaughlin. Patricia Okweze. Anderson Patry. Addison Rose. Annabelle Savage. Mary Schroeder. Zandy Vieg. And Benny Wong. Thank you and congratulations.
It's now my pleasure to turn our program over to our head monitor, Sydney Hopkins, who has done a truly outstanding job leading the school this year. Sydney has taken this role to new heights with her passion for helping our school community be as strong and supportive as possible, and with her outstanding collaborative leadership skills and disciplined approach to accomplishing each task. Her bright smile, kind and humble concern for the needs of all around her, an approach where no job is too big or too small for her to take on, have endeared her to classmates, faculty, and staff alike. We will all miss her as she takes her new home at Ohio State University by storm, and we all look forward to watching the great things she will accomplish in the future. It's a pleasure to introduce this evening our head monitor, Sydney Hopkins.
Thank you, Mr. Stillwell. Thank you, Mr. Stillwell. Good evening. Let's try that one more time. Good evening. Thank you all for gathering here to celebrate the class of 2023, which is filled with incredibly talented, thoughtful, and innovative people who have all made their mark on Episcopal in a unique way. I am so proud to be graduating with a group of people who have consistently risen to the challenges thrown our way. In a moment of vulnerability, I had a panic attack exactly 1 year ago about having to deliver this address after listening to former head monitor Hadley Applegate's address. At the time, I was concerned that because I wasn't here freshman year, I wouldn't be able to properly capture what our class has been through. Now that I'm 1 year wiser, I have realized writing this address has been challenging because it's difficult to find the words to best encompass this class of people, especially since we haven't had a normal high school experience by any means. When I think about our class, I think of us as a group of people who have constantly changed and evolved, just as the world has changed over the past 4 years. Seeing as I was a new sophomore, I asked some four-year seniors about their best memories of freshman year. Many said that hide and seek in the athletic center, dodgeball in the cage after signing in, freezing their toes off during the game, and raves and Stewart on Friday nights made Episcopal an amazing place to be. They also mentioned their first mass meeting and being pushed in the middle of the mosh pit, shower parties in pod, sleeping over in friends' rooms, and Birch were times they'll never forget. Seeing how young and eager everyone looked during the slideshow at the senior dinner last week showed me how similar but different Episcopal was 4 years ago. We have changed, this place has changed, and the world has changed. Talks of a pandemic never crossed our lips. We were all nervous to make new friends. Senior year felt so far away, and our biggest complaint was standing in the back during all of the games. While I don't plan on spending much time talking about it, COVID has certainly impacted our high school experience and has made us adaptable and flexible. In the blink of an eye, Episcopal looked very different from the bustling community I had come to tour in the winter of 2019. Because I was new and didn't know anything different, I spent a lot of time hearing about how things used to be. There were no more dorm meetings, games, hanging out in stew, or even eating in the dining hall. Admittedly, it was a little difficult to feel like I knew the community I was a part of because we had to be physically separated from each other, but we got to know each other in other ways. Whether it was privately messaging classmates on WebEx or feeling a sense of camaraderie during the migration to the cage for weekly COVID testing, there were small moments that still drew us together. So, as we began our senior year, we were overjoyed to return to some of the long-standing traditions that defined Episcopal. In the process, we have left our mark on them and made them our own. Having arguably one of the best Woodbury Spirit Weeks with a solid win here in Humble Bowl to continue the 121-year rivalry gave us a strong start. The girls' varsity lacrosse team won the ISO championship back-to-back, while the boys' varsity lacrosse team beat Landon for the first time in over 30 years. This year, we had multiple mass meetings and seated meals multiple times a week, a return to the routine of school pre-COVID. Our robotics team won the regional tournament and went to the state tournament for the first time. Our class showed up overwhelmingly to events such as the Performing Arts Showcases and the Beauty and the Beast musical. We were also proud to spearhead EHS etiquette at the beginning of the year and set the expectation of holding doors for one another, saying hi in the hallways, and learning how to unplug during community events in order to fully engage with others as we did pre-COVID. Our class eagerly welcomed exchange students from Austria and France for the first time since 2019. And although everyone was not here freshman year to experience the tight-knit, supportive, and welcoming EHS community has to offer, as a class, we made it our mission to embody that same spirit and overwhelming force this year and succeeded. We didn't just reshape old traditions, though. We also brought real change to this place and ushered in some new ones that I hope will become staples in defining what it means to have experienced Episcopal. Grade Games was started by our class freshman year and has quickly emerged as an event every underclassman looks forward to during the long winter months. We watched the track disappear and the construction and opening of 2 new dormitories and a new health and wellness center in real time. Our school-wide effort to move into these buildings mid-year truly highlighted how we come together and support each other through major life transitions. The Washington program got a major rebrand with our new academic schedule and flex experiences that signified a return to learning outside of our gates in an entirely new way. We embraced the digital age with things like Duo, and we can't forget everyone's favorite thing, tiling in. Whether it was creating an impromptu senior spirit week during our last week of classes, or hiding out in the bushes for hours waiting for an unassuming target for senior splash like Jonathan Strange, we made new memories and traditions that reflect our community, which continues to develop and change over time. Most importantly, through all of our changes and experiences, we learned. We learned how to lean on each other, fight for each other, cry with each other, and be there for each other day in and day out. We learned how to grow to love the most random advisory ever, or maybe that was just me. We learned how to sneak around to hang out in groups larger than 4 people. Sorry. We learned how to take initiative, manage our time, and most importantly, use our voice for issues we cared about to create change. We learned that we didn't have to agree on everything, and that's okay. We learned how to maximize meal money and finesse our way out of a level or 2. Sorry, Mr. Doyle. We learned how to roll out of bed at exactly 7:57 a.m. and still make it to class on time. We learned how to adapt, be flexible, and expect the unexpected. We learned how to hold our peers accountable even when it was uncomfortable. We learned how to advocate for ourselves and each other. We grew into leaders who approach every obstacle with excitement because we've already faced some daunting ones. Now, we're ready for the real world and all of the uncertainties that come with it because one thing is certain: change leads to growth. To the underclassmen and rising leaders, here are some words of advice. 1, lead with love always. It'll get you further than anything. 2, do at least one thing without your friends. You never know what group of randos you'll meet that could transform your perspective on life. 3, be like our class and be open and embracing to change. It's natural, expected, and healthy. You will not be the same person who entered high school, and that's okay. None of us are. Whether it was meeting new people on the 3rd floor of STU freshman year, over screens on WebEx, in family groups, class, or advisory, the class of 2023 has certainly left an impression on the high school and each other. Even though we've lost quite a few members, somehow we're still one of the largest graduating classes in school history. That fact is a testament to how we have constantly exuded excellence in every aspect of life. And even through the hard days, because trust me, there were some hard days, we kept going because of our genuine love for this community and each other. We certainly could not have made it this far without the support of the amazing faculty and staff that invest in us day in and day out to ensure we walk away with a newfound sense of purpose and energy. Looking forward to the future, I hope Episcopal continues to grow and change with the perspectives of every person who crosses paths on the Holy Hill, just as we have learned to do so. There is true beauty in the constant pursuit of growth, not just for yourself, but for your community. Coming together under the strangest of circumstances and embracing the challenge has resulted in lifelong relationships that will last beyond our 1, 2, 3, or 4 years here on the Holy Hill. I can't wait to see how we have all grown and changed at our 5, 10, and 20-year reunions. My deepest thank you to those of you who gather here to celebrate our class. You have witnessed every emotion imaginable on the journey we call high school. Nothing about our experience was ordinary, but that's what makes us extraordinary. Thank you, God bless the high school, and congratulations, the class of 2023.
Okay, well, thanks to Sydney. And this now actually concludes our evening. Thank you all so much for joining us for our program. And we look forward to seeing everyone out on what we hope will be a beautiful Virginia morning on the front circle at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.